Hello everybody and welcome back to Gardens and Crystals with me, Wesley Peterson, and today I have a Raid in the Rack video for you, but this time it is not plants, it is glass propagation vases. And I have a lot of different types here. Some I've packed out that have just been a little bit rinsed, some aren't rinsed, some are still in a box here, and some have some of my plants that are propagating in them. And I just want to show you all of these because I was out driving in the countryside on my way back to Malmö, and I stopped at a plant centre, and in a corner they had a lot of these glass propagation vases, and well, the price was ridiculously cheap. They were dusty, full of dirt, all sorts, and the woman said to me, oh, you're probably going to have to get something to decalcify them, and oh, they might be able to be cleaned up again. And you know what? All they need is a little bit of a dust off, a little bit of a wipe off, a little bit of a rinse, and these bottles are perfect enough for me to be able to propagate my plants. So let me just show you a few of the different types that I got. This, you can see, is obviously for a bulb, and you put the bulb in this piece and the roots grow all the way down into the vase, and it just absolutely looks beautiful and captivating. So I'm looking forward to getting a bulb to put in that. Then I have a couple of this type that are quite thick for putting cuttings in and propagating. And then I found this square one there, very, very heavy actually, and I already used this to propagate my Monstera deliciosa variety Borsigiana albovariegata, but that's already in soil now. And here I have a couple that are thinner. These are thin ones. This one is with a little piece of pelargonium that is propagating there that I got as a gift from somebody when I bought some plants online. So that was really nice. So they're really nice as well for putting one small thinner cutting in. And then I got this beautiful one here, more rounded in it. And at the moment, that has two stems of Philodendron Hastatum that have been propagating in it. And these were cuttings I bought online that were put into soil and they started dying. One leaf completely yellowed off and died off, and I thought, I've got to do something to save this plant. So I took it out of the soil and I saw that it had no roots. No roots. It was just put in soil and it wasn't ready. So I put it back in water, and I just want to show you here the extent of how that has helped. So I'm really happy with these propagation vases because they've worked already their wonder. Now look at the roots on these. They are 2 to 3 centimeters long, and I would say that if you're propagating plants like this, philodendrons, let the roots get 2 to 3 centimeters long like this, and then it's ready to be planted in soil, and the soil kept moist, and let it carry on. If you let the roots get too big, now if I should let these roots fill out that whole vase, they would turn into water roots, they wouldn't be as strong, they would be very brittle, they would break easily, and the plant would have a hard time adjusting to soil. So this is now, for me, I would say ready to be potted in soil, and I'm going to do that now in this video because those propagation vases have been working wonders for this plant. And look here, it even has a whole new leaf coming out before it's even put in soil, and 2 beautiful leaves that are flushed out. I have shown you these in the video, the unboxing video when I got this plant, and these were sagging and hanging down, and now look at these leaves. They're very stiff and healthy again, holding themselves up, so this is really ready to be potted. But before I get to that, just put them gently back in their water again here until I get to potting them on for you in the video. I just want to open some more because I've got a couple of types like this. Now these are really dirty because I haven't done anything with them. They've just, this is how they were. They're very dirty. I haven't done anything with them. This is how they were in the shop, and that's why they were selling them really cheap. They're like, oh, we can't clean those, they're really ruined. But I know from the other vases that you've seen, they come up as right as rain. Nothing wrong with them. Beautiful. So that's thin ones without the base. This one, that one has a base. These are without a base. So you have to be a little bit more careful about these ones not toppling over when you put stuff in them. I have another one here of the same. And then I got one of those. And then I thought, oh no, you know what? You always need to have at least a pair. Because if you get a pair, you can have two lovely bulbs growing next to each other and you can watch them grow. Now look at that. That one's a bit more clean and rinsed. This one, that is how it was directly from being bought. A little bit dusty. But that doesn't make any difference. Look at this. Look how they come out. Just a little bit of rinsing in water before I even did anything special. Just rinsed it in water. The difference. So, no problem. I can see through things like that. I know when I've got myself a good old bargain. Now, I've got another type here. This is a different shape. This one is a round one again. Beautiful. And yeah, it's the same as this one I got. That's a round one I got, but taller. And at the moment, this round one, oh, it's a bit heavy. This round one has just some leaves I have from my Philodendron Royal Queen sitting in there. I had some cuttings and now I just have these leaves sitting in here on display. They will never propagate and root, but they look lovely and that leaf is just gorgeous. Look at the size of it. So I just couldn't bear to get rid of that. I just leave that and it looks nice as a display when I put other cuttings in there. And it's been in that vase for 3 weeks now. Still looks as right as rain. I have one more type to show you and that's this one. This was also there, and look at that. Again, you can put cuttings in it, you can put a plant in this that you want to grow and stay in the water and watch the roots come down and go into the bottom piece. You can put a little tiny bit of like soil in there so that the roots can go down and grow into the water and then get some soil at the bottom as well. You know, it's kind of like a lamp. It's absolutely beautiful. Well, what I want to tell you about all this is, I've got now here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 propagation vases here. All different types and they're all wonderful. The one thing I want to show you about them all is I got them all for the same price regardless of size, weight, shape, whatever. They just wanted to get rid of these. And when I see a bargain, people, now I'm coming a bit closer again, because when I see a bargain, people, I go for it. I don't wait, don't think, oh, I'll take a couple now and if I want some more later, I'll go back. No, because they'll be gone. I took everything because I have lots of plants to propagate. Okay, I've got so many plants now that I have lots of plants to propagate so that I can make lovely little cuttings that I can go and sell to other people so that they can enjoy the same plants and we can share and spread the love of plants. So, propagation vases are important, okay? Now look at this. Can you see the price? And this one on the bottom. Can you see the price? Each vase was 15 kronas a piece. Are you hearing what I'm saying? 15 Swedish kronas a piece. That is nothing, people. These normally you would be buying for well over 100 krona a piece. 150, 200 krona a piece. Some of them are really, really heavy. 15 kronas each one. I got myself the world's largest bargain when I saw these. And I said to the woman, do you mind if I take them all? And she was like, of course, we just want to get rid of them. I don't know if you're going to be able to get them clean. You can try. Try? I know I can get these clean. And even if they're not spotless, it doesn't matter. They're for cuttings. They're not for putting in a display window. They're just for me to use for my cutting. So they're perfect. 15 kronas a piece. Look at this. It says it at the bottom here as well. Says it at the bottom there as well. 15 kronas a piece. Doesn't matter what the shape, the size, whatever they were. They were 15 kronas a piece. And I couldn't be happier. I'm just over the moon with this. This is just fantastic. And it's really nice to use these as well to just put leaves that might be spent and going over but have a nice colour to them. When you've cut them off the mother plant, you can put them in these vases and just let them stand there and give you beauty until they're completely spent and you can't look at them anymore. Or you can put your cuttings in that are doing well, like these Philodendron Hastatum here. Or you can put sticks in them and twigs. You can make displays out of them and you can just clean them and have them at different heights on a shelf. Now I have them standing on a shelf in our office at the moment where I have a shelf high up and I have space. That's where I can put them all, the ones that I'm not using. And they look really nice together. Now, another thing I got while I was thinking about getting things that I need for my indoor terrace garden and for our house plants at Crystal Cottage was a moisture gauge. So, because I need one for here for the indoor terrace garden and the house plants all around our apartment and one for Crystal Cottage, I got two. So, these are easy, cheap, I think something like 70 kronas or something, Swedish kronas, something like that, called Elux. I'll take one out and show you. They arrived from Amazon really quickly. Only a couple of days and then they were here and they look like this. A perfect and simple moisture gauge. The red area shows the dry, moist is the green area and wet is the blue area. When you stick that into the soil, it will tell you exactly how wet it is. And I need that now. I have so many plants that it is hard for me to find out who needs watering, who doesn't. And yeah. So, having one of these, I can just put that in and I can see if the soil is dry or wet or whatever it is. And then I'll know if I can water the plant a little bit or if it needs a good soak. Or if it needs nothing, if it's wet or moist already. So I would recommend getting yourself a moisture gauge like this. You can get them on Amazon, so it's easy. I did that. So I'm really happy about that now. So I've got one for here and one for Crystal Cottage. That is just going to make my life a little bit easier now that my collection is getting beyond a joke. No, it's not a joke. I'm serious. This is serious for me, okay? I love these plants. I love the feeling they're giving me. I love my environment here. It's getting better and better and better. I love being in our cottage, out in my garden. Oh, it's the best thing for me. I just love that. That is raw nature. And now I've started getting more and more houseplants in the cottage so that I have plants inside in the winter so that I can take care of there. And here in our apartment, I have my whole indoor terrace garden, plus all the other plants we have in the different rooms of our apartment here. And I just feel so happy because this is my hobby. It goes deep to my core. It makes me feel so happy and alive and refreshed, energized. The plants speak to me with their energy. If I'm not here for a couple of days, these plants speak to me. When I come back, some are sagging, some have got their leaves are spent and gone brown. And I'm like, what happened? I've only been gone for like 3 or 4 days. And they're just like our energy exchange has to be a constant flow for them to keep happy. Soon as I'm gone for a couple of days, they just whoop, some of them, I'm telling you. It's not all brightness and sunny here all the time. They let me know when they're unhappy about me leaving them, that's for sure. So at the moment, I've tidied them all up. They've all had a good watering and everything is happy, as I can see. So that's really good. So now you've seen all of these vases. Absolutely wonderful. 15 kronas a pop. Go out there and look at normal prices. You're going to see, the price is going to be quite high for things like this. So I was so happy. Now we're going to get on and pot this beautiful Philodendron Hastatum because it's ready. I have a beautiful nursery pot to put it in that's been cleaned and washed, ready to go into this porcelain pot. This plant's going to look wonderful in this. I have soil ready to go here, so it's just about getting this done. So let's do that, seeing as this beautiful vase did a wonderful job of propagating this plant. Let's move this beautiful vase over here with these wonderful leaves. Oh, with these wonderful leaves in them, and concentrate on getting this Philodendron Hastatum repotted. Now, I'm also going to put this back over here for a minute because we need to bring the pot up and, whoopsie, put those down on the floor for a minute. Now I've got my pot, so just going to get some of this soil. Good potting mix, wood bark, big chunks, and lots of perlite to aerate the soil. And then we are ready to go. So in with that. And then it's going to be a matter of me now holding these stems up at the same time as putting soil around the edge. I'm glad I've got two, so I'll have a nice full plant straight away. And I think I want to do it such that the leaves are going in. Well, those two are going in and that one, no, they're going in across each other like that. I want that like that because then I'm going to have them more centralized together. So, what I might need to do is put this down here actually. And, oh, and then I'll be able to get the soil and lift it up, put it straight in. Just like that. So beautiful, this Philodendron Hastatum. This one's got much bigger, rounder leaves. I bought it as a Philodendron Hastatum silver sword, but for me it's not because it hasn't got the sword shape. It hasn't got the spikes at the end of the leaves, and it's much thicker and not narrow and long. I have an absolutely wonderful big one which you've seen in another video, and I have a smaller one here as well that is much more sword-like and it has since got a whole new leaf, so I'm going to actually get that and show you that in this video too, so you can see the difference between this one and that one once I've potted this up. Beautiful aerated soil and perlite. Lots of really big chunks of wood bark. So the soil is very well aerated and this plant won't get clogged down. It will be very happy with this soil mixture. Let's get some more of those wood chips around the other side because they seem like there's more wood chips on one side than the other. There. That is actually really, really perfect. And once it gets into that white porcelain pot, it's just going to look amazing. So here's the white porcelain pot. No need to delay. This plant is ready to look beautiful. And there it is. So look at this. Isn't it beautiful? Now I have another absolutely beautiful and well-growing Philodendron Hastatum, where the one stem has a whole new leaf coming out and the other one will soon follow along. And the shape of it like this is just beautiful. I'm really pleased with that. That was another well-established cutting I bought online, and it's done well after it's been left to root in one of these beautiful glass propagation vases. So if you look closer, that's how it is. A beautiful new leaf in the middle, beautiful, three big beautiful leaves growing around the edge, and in a beautiful pot, and it looks wonderful. And as I said, I just wanted to show you the other one I have. This is the Philodendron Hastatum silver sword, and you can see it's got the tails and the long thin stems, and this is doing really well. That leaf there at the top is a whole new leaf, and it's got a new leaf coming out of the back here, And these 3 stems are doing really, really well, and it looks beautiful. And now I have this one that has a slightly different shape in the leaves. So I'm really happy about that too. 2 beautiful Philodendron Hastatums, 2 different types of leaves. Beautiful, couldn't be better. So in conclusion to this video, I went out and I got myself an absolute bargain on propagation glass vases. So many for 15 krona each only. And this beautiful plant that has been propagating in one of these glass vases is ready now to grow into a full, beautiful plant. And I am so happy about that. So all that's left for me to say is, go out and find yourself some bargains, people. There are bargains to be found everywhere, as I keep saying. Go and get yourself a moisture gauge for your plants if you have a lot. And it will really help you judge when you need to water your plants. And go out and repot some of your cuttings that have got 2 to 3 centimeter roots. They are ready to be put in soil. Don't let them get too long. If they get too long, it's better to let them grow and stay in water. Or you might have a hard time getting them to establish themselves to soil, and they could not make it. But, you know, many plants are resilient and you will probably still get something out of it. And if you're doing it with something like a Philodendron, Epipremnums, Scindapsus, then you'll probably be able to cut off at nodes and re-root those in water and you'll do okay again. If you've only got the 1 node, you've only got the 1 chance. Just remember that. Care tips about a Philodendron Hastatum. They are easy plants to look after. Don't fuss. Don't fuss. Give it the kind of soil that I've given it. Bark, a good potting mix, perlite. You could put many other things in there. All you need to remember is the soil needs to be aerating, and you water this plant, let it dry out in between and water again, and that's fine. Give it fertilizer when it's growing. And that's summer and winter. People say you shouldn't do it in the winter, but if your plant is flushing out new leaves and is really happy and it's winter, I mean, you can give it fertilizer because it's obviously growing and it's obviously happy and it's still, you know, doing what it's doing. So don't hold back on the fertilizer. But if you notice your plant is not growing for a while, hasn't put any new leaves out for a while, and it's during the winter months and it's darker and it's colder, then reduce the watering. The plant can stay drier longer. Water and let it dry out, but don't ever let it have too much moisture, otherwise it will get root rot. And don't fertilize your plant if it's not growing at all, because then you'll shock the plant. It will be kind of trying to force the plant to wake up from a kind of dormancy period. And that's not good for your plant. If it needs to rest, let it rest. If you see it growing, like this one's flushing out new leaves, then fertilize it because it obviously wants to grow. So just watch your plant. Look at your plant. You can see how your plant feels. And I know this one is very happy now that it was put in water and then back in soil now. And it's growing new leaves. I'm just going to water it for now because it's been put in new fresh soil. But if it's still growing in a month's time, then when I water it a few times more down the road, then I will fertilize it because it obviously needs that to help it with its new growth. So all I have to say now is thank you very much for watching Gardens and Crystals once again with me, Wesley Peterson. Please remember to like, subscribe and hit the bell so you know when my next video upload will be. And I will see you again very, very soon. Goodbye.